Hey guys, welcome again with another tutorial on multiple promises. So we are going to see some practical implementation, how we can do that. Since now, like we've been talking theoretically, we've been going through each and every method and we've been finding what are all those methods are. So if you haven't checked out my videos, you can check out my I have created a playlist. There you can find all other videos related to this content promises. So I would recommend you to go first and check out them. They are theoretical portion of it. So before starting with this video, because I'm going to cover all other practical scenarios, how we can use these methods inside the promises. So let's get started without delaying further ado. So I'm coming to the JS bin. I have prepared a JS bin right now. It's a completely blank. So I'll first go one by one. So let me just first cover some basic methods which are available inside this promise object. So one is resolve, and later we will see promise dot reject. So these are two basic methods which are available in promises. So if you have gone through my videos, you find that resolve and reject are the two stages or states of the promises by which each and every promises goes through. Works on both these two stages. So resolve is basically when the promise gets fulfilled, the resolve method will be called. This is, and if you have to resolve it manually, then you can call promise.resolve. Then this will be the same way, right? Similarly, reject is basically for using a rejection of any of the fulfillment. So by mean to say, if I'm having a console log, let's say console log, and I say promise dot resolve, and I am putting resolve always because as I told you in my earlier videos, any method available inside the promise object will return a promise. So either it will not return a value, instead it will return a promise. So it will return a promise. Let's see what it returns. Let me just type some content. So promise resolution result, right? Clear and then run. See, resolution result is the promise itself. Whenever you call any method which is available inside the promise, it will return an promise, because promises are chainable, because I can use then and other methods also after this resolution function. So right, like we don't want to go into the depth right now. So resolve is basically for resolving, but how can I print that value, this three? Or let's say we have hello world here, hello world, right? So how we can see this value is, so let's create a variable here. Let result equals to this, and then method is being called to resolve. So whenever resolve any of the promises gets resolved or rejected, then method will be called, right? So then method you have to pass a callback function like this, like so, right? Inside this I can print out the value console.log, and results is this, right? Result, result, right? So it will return me a result. Let me see, here I should print return also, result also, right? If I run the result, it will go and resolve this function, and it will find this value, and this value will be passed to this result set here, and the result will be printed. So first console log is result and the hello world, right? Got it? This is how it works actually. And resolution result is basically this resolution result. right? This has passed this method. So there's a one catch. If you have noticed that resolution result has been called first, even though the result method has been resolved, right? The promise has been resolved. So I'll cover in later videos. Promises under the hood creates a micro task. Promises says create a micro tasks in event loop. This is why even though promises are in resolved state, it will take time to process, right? So I'll cover this in next videos, when I'll cover promise in depth or in advanced level, where I'll tell you that how the promises are built in C++ language and what are these micro tasks. But right now you can consider this is a micro task in event loop, and which is like where event loop it basically checks for each and every task that has to be resolved or rejected. That's waits for any task, and the task can be proceeded further. So now we have seen resolve method. Similarly, we will go for reject method. Promise dot resolve reject. Let's say reject method, and now I will pass another parameter also, because this is a callback function on success. Function uh, error, right? And console.log error and error, right? If so, let's see how it goes. And right, forget about this thing. As I told you, this is a micro task, so it will go and it will create a micro task in the event loop, and it will save that thing, and then after it will run this execute. It will execute this code of line, and then after it will see any pending timer function or not. If it does not have any further pending function, then it will execute this micro task. This is how it works in event loop. So this is basically just a brief idea so that you can get to know about what the things are going on. This is why you can see that this line of code is executing first, and then after this error is being printed. So here, since we have rejected, now you can see this error message is coming on, right? So this is how promise.resolve and reject method works. Now we will see uh, promise.all and multiple promises, how we can handle multiple promises in JavaScript. Before that, I wanted to create one more promise function using the timer. So you using timer so that you can get an idea. Promises using timer. So timer means set timeout basically. So let's say I'm creating let p promise equals to new of promise, and then function, right? Resolve function or reject function, right? Please don't be confused. Like earlier we had passed, let me just copy and go through. M- Most of the people get confused with this. Most of the people get confused with this promise.resolve reject all other methods with this new promise keyword. Here we are creating a new promise, right? Here we are using the promise wrapper. There's a difference. we are using a new object, we are creating them, and then after we are using their resolve and reject method, right? But here we are using the inbuilt reject method of that promise wrapper. Did you get understand? There is a big difference. We are creating an instance of it, but we are using directly promises, right? So that is why I just reverted back to just to explain you. So where we were in the this process where we were creating a new promise and set timeout, set timeout, and then function, and again this function to be executed after 1 second. I'll say console dot log function timer function will get execute after 1 second, right? And then after we will resolve this thing. So resolve function, and let's say done. It is just you, whatever message you want to pass. Even in this thing, if you say R, it will work also. It you say like I used to say resolve function so that I can get to know this is a function type. It is not a type of other variable, right? So this is a function, that is why we are calling here, right? So we are creating a new promise here using the timer function. I am saying that hey, create a timer of 1 second. 1 second, right? After 1 second, it has to be executed. After 1 second, callback function will be executed. ठीक है? Okay. So callback function is basically this function. This is a callback function. Callback function, right? For your reference. Now we will see after 1 second it is working or not, right? So console.log again we have to, because promises works on then or catch method. Until or unless you call the then method, it will not be resolved, right? It will not return you the response. So promise dot then, right? Similarly, and again callback function to be passed where result set, right? Whatever result we got, and we need to print that result console.log, and result is comma result, right? So we'll see now here this time. Got it? I'm just commenting this thing so that mm, you don't get confused with this thing. Run. Right. Now if you see after 1 second it is taking 1 second, or then after it is executing this result function, right? Or even for your convenience I would say before 1 second, right? So that you can get to know what is happening. Before 1 second, after 1 second we got the response, right? This is how we are handling with the promises. We are saying we are creating a function where we are setting the timers, or you can make a API call. In between that, if you get the data, you can resolve that data by passing this data here. If you can pass that data in this format also, like let me just write Amit. I'm just passing an object just to show you object also works before 1 second, and then after we got the object, right? The timer is used, so second use case is also fulfilled. Now we will come to this thing, all settled and raise, right? Let me just scroll a little bit, right? Clear it, and right. So we will see all method promise dot all, right? So promise.all basically it basically works on multiple promises. Please do check out my earlier videos. There I have mentioned theoretically that what promises.all method works. So we'll see the practical here. The all method basically just to return, just to process all multiple promises at once. So for an example, I'm just creating list of promises list, promise list, and then array of list, and in between them I would say promise dot resolve. I wanted to one promise to be resolved, comma, promise, I'm just saying second promise to be resolved again, 2, and then the timer function, I'm just copying it here from here. I'll create a new one, new promise. Right now I'm using the arrow functions here, set timeout and console.log or resolve, right, resolve data or result. So we are resolving the result here, right? So we have don't want to comment because, so this is first promise, this is second promise, first promise, second promise. I'm just actually this is a mimic basically. So third promise. So third promise is basically a timeout function, and second promise is basically I'm just resolving that promise. Uh, Always be remember that these methods will return a promise, right? So what I'm saying is it will have three promises. This array will hold three promises. Do you want to see this thing? I'll show it to you. Promise list. So it will have three promises. Uh, I'm resolve. Okay, sorry. It is a resolve function, right? Result. Okay, resolve. Sorry. Since we are not having any result here, so result. I was saying this thing, or you say done, right? So you can see this one. This is a one object, one promise object, second promise, third promise. Now we want as I told you in the diagram also, we have promises 1, promises 2, promises 3, list of promises, right? We are passing in the array format. So similarly I am doing in array format. I have created a promise list, and now I wanted to promise all those promises in once. So promise dot all, and then promise list, right, and dot then method is to invoke this promises and get the result, and then result will be result list. It will return the result list, the console.log and result list, right? Now I'll see clear, and then so what you got, 3, 2, and done, right? So you got this in array format. Let's say the disadvantage of all. So advantage is basically you can write as many as promise in parallel. You can trigger all promises in parallel. So it is basically, it is not blocking any of the thread. Instead it is triggering, or it is making API calls in the background in a parallel way, so that you the main thread will not be blocked. So this is the advantage of all method, right? Now down disadvantage of all method is if any of the method gets rejected, then it will throw an error, right? So to catch the error, I'll say error, but here it will not return a error list. It will say error. It will not be array. So let me just return what is 2. Okay, so since I've passed the value here, let me just clear and then this undefined, or let's say error. Got it? This. So I'm just passing this thing so that error thrown, right? And the error thrown is custom error. So this is error thrown and this is custom error. So even though it is resolved and it is going to be resolved, but it find that one of the promises got rejected, that is why it has been returned. So it does not wait for other promises. It directly says, hey, I've got a error and please do resolve it. This is the biggest downside of this method. Let's say you have placed 10 multiple requests and in between then one of the requests gets failed, then the failure result will be passed to you even though some of the requests were passed. That is why we came across one of the method called all settled, right? All settle. Now we will see all settle how it will work here. All settled. If I'm not correct with this, if I'm not wrong with the sentence syntax, so yep. If you can see here, right? So one yes. So you can see here one result list contains one is fulfilled with the value 3, one is rejected with value 1. So it is containing a result set basically. So result set, if I say length, then it will have 3 lengths. 3, right? Why? Let me just explain you. Go to the diagram. All settle, what it says is, even though any of the promise gets failed or rejected, then it will gonna process all promises at once, and then after it will return a result respective to that promise. For an example, if P1, P2, P3, we are having 3 cases. Even though P2 is not P2 is failed, it will return the responses corresponding to the promises. So in the result list itself, it will have, if I say print first element, then the 3 value will be there, right? 3 value. And if I say 1 means this promise. Error, right? And 2 is done, right, after 1 second. So this is how we will get the result list here. This is the main this is all about the all settle, right? And now we will see the raise function, right? Raise function, what it does is basically resolve, and let me just say the second promise is after this promise. And raise basically says that any of the any of the promise that gets resolved first will be returned. By mean to say is, if I say this thing, then like I guess this is not the best example, but to mimic this thing, I would say there would be a multiple API calls. So in between that, race condition is basically once any of the API, because here each and every API is getting processed. So let's say reject, and then rejected. Okay, sorry, I didn't use this thing. That is why I was unexpecting this behavior. So now did you got this thing? Let me just clear it. Yep. So why this is printing 3 and 3 again? It is not printing the length of the result list. It is printing this 3 value. Or let me just say first response of result, right? So it means is like when it basically checks, it is basically a racing condition where any promises that gets resolved first will be returned. Right, this is how the race method works, and this is the practical implementation of all methods, all settled, and race method, and that we have seen resolve and reject. That's it guys for this video. I'm sure you get some little bit a brief idea about the promises, and please do like subscribe my videos if you learned anything from my videos. So thank you guys.